The purpose of this video is to raise various concerns about Unico's Nova Blast, as well as convey my own personal experience. The video is meant to be entertaining, informative, and educational. I did not pre-order this. Today, the term candy cab more broadly refers to sit-down Japanese arcade machines. But what some people might not know is that the term actually originated from SNK's Candy series cabinets, all of which have become fan favorites. These sleek, compact cabinets gained popularity not only for their ergonomic design, but also for their wide range of compatibility. With a vast range of arcade hardware, Japanese arcades became known for their uniformity. But before candy cabs in the late 70s and early 80s, there were what we call woodies. These existed mostly before the JAMA era, but eventually the appeal of plastic and metallic design with a convenient sit-down style became the cabinet of choice. The smooth and often white and plastic metal exteriors with colorful buttons and bright CRT displays evoke memory of classic arcades, while their space-efficient designs and easy-access architecture make them a practical and stylish addition to any gaming setup. Candy cabs were not commonly seen in the United States arcades. In fact, almost not at all. Usually if you saw them, they'd be in a small shop somewhere or an exclusive type of gaming or import store. And while the US had big fancy cabs, the truth is, I think the Japanese culture got it right with a sit-down cab. I mean, it's much more comfortable to sit there playing a game for hours at a time than it is to stand. The introduction of Sega's City series in the late 80s, which led to their long line of predecessors, was definitely a landmark for what we like to call candy cabs. My personal desire to own a candy cab comes from my appreciation for Japanese arcade culture, the universal appeal, nostalgic value, and let's not forget the timeless aesthetic. They're not exactly cheap in the United States, nor are they plentiful. And ever since the rise of popularity in home arcades, I was hoping that a company would revisit this design and bring a modern version of it to life, which is exactly what Unico ended up doing.
Get ready to blast off into a whole new dimension of fun with the Unico Nova Blast.
I'm not gonna lie, when Unico made it official with this advertisement for their Nova Blast, I was pretty hyped about it. But I was also a bit leery as to whether or not it would turn out to be as good as, well, we all wanted it to be. A 26-inch screen, the full-fledged look and feel of a candy cab, and all packaged together for a decent price point. Not only that, but you'd be able to play JAMA, X Input, and pretty much anything you could on there. But I decided to hold off on a pre-order and wait to see what other people's reception of it was like. There were delays in getting it out, but once they did, the reception was not as welcoming as I thought it was gonna be. What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are gonna be talking about something that makes me sad. My Nova Blast failed to launch. So let's break this down. The bottom half was delivered by FedEx, and it was fine. The bar top came separately by UPS, and the box was fine, the packaging was fine, but somehow the shell was damaged. So take a look at this. This is the box after my daughter, who's 9 years old, was basically playing with it like she was a crazy gremlin. And it's important to note that this was only in transit for about a day. As you can see, there's no damaged areas on the box at all, and even the styrofoam inlays are perfectly intact. Right out of the box, I pulled it out like this. This is the only video I have of it right when I pulled it out of the box, and there was no indication that there was any kind of damage until I pulled off that first piece of foam. And this is immediately after I pulled it off. Well, you can see that's not good. And then I noticed that there was actually some damage on the back as well. And it didn't stop there. As I inspected more, I also noticed that there was a scratch across the bezel and 2 indentations, very small, in the center of it. The plastic protective layer definitely absorbed most of the damage on the bezel. I did still have to rub it out a little bit with a compound to make sure that the scratches weren't visible. At this point, I'm starting to worry about the integrity of the hardware, because obviously this was done wherever they pack these, unless somebody opened the box up and took this thing out in between. And I'm just wondering to myself, what the heck are they doing at that factory?
Yeah, Mike, that's what I'm talking about. Get some of that QC, quality chaos. Hey, has anybody seen the QC inspector?
I mean, my imagination does tend to run a little bit wild, but then this happened. And of course, the monitor was broken. I tried every input and no dice, so now I have this glorious thing that I can't use. But I kind of knew that this was a risk. I mean, I'm not the first person that something like this has happened to. Somebody's gonna want to cover their eyes for this part. If you're spending $1,500 on something, you should at least be getting something that doesn't look like it's been tossed around like a football. And then there's the monitor. Only 10 minutes after turning it on, it starts to frizzle out on the bottom half of the screen. It frizzles out and eventually turns into a black bar. And I can smell the monitor start to cook. Guys, is this normal? The last thing I need in my house is a $1,500 fire hazard. I've had this happen before with a monitor, and when I let that one run long enough, it eventually blew out the whole screen and started smoking. After reaching out to Unico through several different platforms and a friend, I did receive a very sincere and professional apology, and they did address the issue. We at Unico apologize for any damage that the Nova Blast may have had, and will work as fast as we can to get you a replacement. The only thing we can say is sorry for this experience. We don't package at the warehouse in the US, so if damage was present before boxing, we would not knowingly ship the unit in a cargo container from overseas to our warehouse, then to a customer, as it would be a huge waste of shipping. Once again, apologies for the damage. Some parts are still on the way, as explained to your friend who contacted support, therefore would take a bit to resolve. Pre-order fulfillment just ended 2 weeks ago. We are working as fast as we can to fix all support issues. This is a brand new product, so some aspects we learned from to make support faster and easier for all customers. In all fairness, I think their QC process needs a lot of work, but I do appreciate that they took the time to publicly make a tailored response to the issues that I'm having. Although I still find it concerning that so many other people have had similar issues. And I didn't pre-order mine, it only took a few days to get here, which means if I ordered another one right now, I would probably get it in a few days. So I'm just assuming that they don't have a backup warehouse or they can't pull from that same stock. So I think it's important to raise some of these concerns, and hopefully Unico sees this and they address it. They start doing better and they fix the problems. Because the truth is, this cab has so much potential. It's probably one of the best options out there for the budget. Don't get me wrong, this product truly has the potential to be something amazing. But in order for that to happen, Unico's gonna have to have better quality control, faster and more reliable customer service, clear assembly instructions, and transparent communication. It wouldn't hurt to have a couple of clear, professionally done videos on their website of how to assemble it, or even how to use it with JAMA boards, Naomi, and PCs, and other setups. I popped my Naomi in and got it running without any major issues pretty quickly. But the thing is, even if you're familiar with coin-operated machines, Unico doesn't really offer anything for troubleshooting. Again, the engineering behind the setup and the parts that they're using have a ton of potential once you get everything tuned right, and granted, that's if it all works correctly. While I did wait beyond pre-orders, I was still hesitant about purchasing one of these, and that was mainly due to the things that I've heard. So if you are looking at purchasing one of these, be prepared to inspect it thoroughly and possibly run into issues that you might have to contact customer service about. I really hope that this gets fixed quickly so I can bring you guys a full video with an overview on how to use this thing and what my impressions are once it's actually working. But just understand that as of me making this video, in my opinion, you're taking a calculated risk by purchasing one of these. I think the company means well, but they've got a lot of work to do when it comes to serving their customers a functional product and full-fledged customer service experience. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope that this was informative. You guys got something out of it, and you can see that there is some resolve, but there's also a lot of things that need to be worked on as well. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think and what your history is with the Candy Cat. Until next time, I'll see you guys then.